Did you know that the average Gen Z worker is expected to change jobs after just 2 years while their grandparents might have stayed in one place for 20? Workplace loyalty, once considered a golden virtue, the bedrock of a stable career, seems to be evaporating. We've all seen it. A Gen X manager wistfully bids farewell to a talented Gen Z employee after only a year, muttering, "Nobody's loyal anymore." But is that really true? Is loyalty dead, or has it simply transformed? In an era of gig work, remote opportunities, and constant economic flux, are younger generations truly more fickle, or are they demonstrating loyalty in a profoundly different way? A startling 2024 McKinsey survey reveals that 77% of Gen Z workers have considered switching providers, including employers, in the last 2 years, a rate significantly higher than any other generation. This isn't just a trend, it's a seismic shift. It means companies face a constant risk of a brain drain if they fail to understand this new dynamic. Today, we're doing a deep dive to decode the big question: workplace loyalty. Is it dead or just different? Join us as we explore the complete picture to gain a deeper understanding and perhaps find some practical solutions. Subscribe to GenShift so you don't miss this critical analysis. 1. The job hopping phenomenon, evidence of a seismic shift. The feeling that employee tenure is shrinking isn't just anecdotal. The data paints a stark and accelerating picture. The very architecture of a career is being rebuilt before our eyes. According to Revolving Labs, the numbers are staggering. Gen Z workers are averaging nearly one new job for each year they've been in the workforce. To put that in perspective, while baby boomers averaged about 7.5 years per company over their careers, Gen Z averages just over 1 year. This isn't a gradual evolution, it's a revolutionary acceleration in career velocity. This trend is confirmed by broader statistics. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics reported that the median tenure for workers aged 25 to 34 is now just 2.8 years. What was once seen as a red flag on a resume, frequent job changes, is rapidly becoming the new standard operating procedure for an entire generation navigating their early careers. The concept of a linear career ladder within a single company is being replaced by what you might call a career lattice, where movement is not just up, but sideways and diagonal across multiple organizations and even industries. In their first 3 years, the average Gen Z worker has already moved through 2.1 industries and 2.2 different roles. This pattern suggests a deliberate strategy of skill stacking and experience diversification rather than deep specialization within one corporate silo. But here's a fascinating counter-narrative: the rise of the boomerang employee. As employees leave, they aren't always gone for good. Recent data from ADP shows that boomerang hires former employees who return now account for a remarkable 35% of all new hires, a significant jump from previous years. This suggests that loyalty isn't always about staying put. Sometimes it's cyclical. An employee might leave to gain new skills or experiences only to return later, bringing that enriched career capital back to their former employer. So what do these numbers truly tell us? They signal that the definition of a stable career has fundamentally changed. The question is no longer if an employee will leave, but when, and more importantly, what the relationship will look like after they do. 2. The root causes of the Great Reshuffle, when one-way trust fails. So why is this happening? To dismiss this massive shift as mere generational restlessness is to miss the point entirely. The roots of this behavior run deep, anchored in decades of economic and social change that have systematically eroded the old psychological contract between employer and employee. The foundational driver is a profound trust deficit. Younger generations, particularly millennials, grew up watching their parents, who often embodied traditional loyalty, face mass layoffs during the economic downturns of 2008 and the pandemic in 2020. The lesson was brutal and clear: a company's loyalty to its employees often extends only to the next quarterly report. As author Bruce Tulgan notes, younger generations don't offer loyalty unquestioningly because they've seen little evidence they'll receive it in return. They've internalized the hard truth that the long term doesn't exist anymore in the corporate world, making faith in vague future promises a poor bet. This broken contract has led to a radical reprioritization of values. When long-term security is no longer guaranteed by an employer, workers seek fulfillment in the here and now. For both Gen Z and Millennials, work-life balance is now the single most important factor when choosing a job. It's not a perk, it's a prerequisite. This is compounded by the fact that Gen Z reports the highest levels of anxiety and the least positive life outlook of any generation, making mental well-being a non-negotiable priority. Beyond balance, they demand purpose. A staggering 86% of Gen Z and 89% of Millennials say a sense of purpose is essential to their job satisfaction. For Gen Z, meaningful work is a top reason not just to take or stay in a job, but to quit one. This quest for meaning has a sharp-edge values alignment has become a veto power. Half of Gen Z and 43% of Millennials have rejected work assignments that conflict with their ethics, and nearly as many have rejected employers entirely over issues like negative environmental impact, a lack of commitment to diversity and inclusion, or poor support for mental health. The message is clear: if a company won't be loyal to their values, they shouldn't expect loyalty in return. 3. The new loyalty spectrum. When allegiance wears a different uniform. Since traditional tenure-based loyalty is fading, what is replacing it? The reality is that loyalty hasn't died. It is fractured into a spectrum of more nuanced, conditional, and strategic forms of commitment. For leaders to succeed, they must learn to recognize and cultivate these new allegiances. First is transactional loyalty. This is the new baseline for the employer-employee relationship. It's not disloyalty. It's a pragmatic reciprocal pact. As one analyst puts it, it's the same kind of loyalty you extend to your customers. The employee provides their skills, engagement, and high-quality work. In return, the employer provides fair market compensation, meaningful work respect, and tangible opportunities for development. The moment this transaction becomes imbalanced, if pay lags, growth stalls, or the culture becomes toxic, the agreement is breached and the employee feels free to seek a better deal elsewhere. This relationship is built on transparent mutual value, not blind faith. Next is episodic loyalty, a concept popularized by LinkedIn co-founder Reid Hoffman as the tour of duty. This model accepts that most employment is for a finite period. An employee commits intensely for a tour of 2 to 4 years to achieve a specific ambitious mission. In return, the company provides a career-defining experience that significantly enhances the employee's skills and marketability. When the tour is complete, the employee graduates, moving on to a new tour either internally or externally with the company's full support and blessing. This reframes departure not as betrayal, but as a successful outcome for both parties. Then there is professional and craft loyalty. Many younger workers are more loyal to their profession, their craft, or their industry community than to their current employer. A software engineer's primary identity is as a developer, not just an employee of Company X. Their allegiance is to building their career capital, a portfolio of rare and valuable skills, a strong professional network, and a respected personal brand. They move between companies strategically to acquire diverse experiences and stack new skills, viewing each job as a platform to enhance their long-term professional value. Finally, the most powerful and durable form is values-based loyalty. This emerges when an employee's personal mission deeply aligns with the company's purpose. A Gen Z worker passionate about social justice might stay far longer at a company with a proven commitment to DEI because the work provides intrinsic rewards that transcend a paycheck. This form of loyalty is incredibly potent but also highly conditional. If the company betrays those shared values, the loyalty shatters instantly and often irrevocably. Do you think traditional company loyalty is outdated? What are you most loyal to in your career, your profession, your values, your colleagues, or your company? Share your perspective in the comments below. This is a fascinating debate. 4. The revolving door's double-edged sword costs and opportunities. This new era of talent mobility presents leaders with a classic double-edged sword. For organizations that fail to adapt, the costs are immense, but for those that embrace it strategically, there are significant opportunities. Let's first be clear about the negative side. The financial cost of high turnover is staggering. Research consistently shows that replacing a single employee costs an average of 33% of that worker's annual salary, with some estimates going as high as 2 times the salary for senior or specialized roles. These are hard costs, advertising, recruitment fees, and the time spent screening and interviewing, but the soft costs are even more damaging. When a team member leaves, it creates a vacuum of productivity and institutional knowledge. Remaining employees are often forced to pick up the slack, leading to burnout, a decline in morale, and the risk of a domino effect where their own departure becomes more likely. This constant churn makes it incredibly difficult to build a stable, cohesive culture and can harm a company's long-term strategic planning. However, viewing this purely as a cost is a strategic error. Increased mobility also brings powerful benefits. The constant influx of new talent acts as an organizational immune booster, injecting fresh perspectives, diverse skills, and new ways of working that prevent stagnation and challenge entrenched groupthink. These new hires, particularly from different industries, can be catalysts for innovation. Furthermore, this competitive talent landscape creates a positive forcing function. It compels companies to continuously improve their compensation benefits and overall employee experience to attract and retain the best people. You can't afford to get complacent. For the individual employee, the calculus is similarly balanced. Job hopping is often the fastest path to significant salary increases and allows for the rapid accumulation of a diverse skill set. The risk, however, is a resume that looks like a collection of red flags, lacking the depth of experience that comes from seeing long-term projects through to completion. It can also hinder the development of the deep internal networks often necessary for promotion to the highest senior leadership roles. The key for both the company and the individual is to find a strategic balance to maximize the benefits of mobility while mitigating its inherent risks. 5. A Tale of Two Loyalties, Generational Values, and Case Studies in Adaptation. The shift in loyalty is fundamentally a story about shifting values, a narrative best understood by comparing the generational mindsets that shape the modern workplace. For many baby boomers and Gen Xers, the psychological contract was clear. Loyalty was demonstrated through long-term commitment and personal sacrifice for the company. In return, they expected job security, a steady paycheck, and a pension that would provide for a safe retirement. Their loyalty was an investment in stability, a belief that the corporation would in the end take care of them. Gen Z holds no such belief. Having come of age in an era of economic precarity and witnessing the broken promises made to prior generations, their core belief is radically different. I can only rely on myself and the skills I build. Their loyalty is not to a corporate logo, but to their own career trajectory and personal brand. What older generations might label as opportunistic, Gen Z would reframe as strategic self-reliance. They are not disloyal, they are loyal to their own future in a world that has taught them no one else will be. Millennials stand as the crucial bridge generation, having entered the workforce with some expectation of the old system, but quickly learning the rules of the new one. They understand both perspectives. Many job hopped in their 20s to accelerate their careers, but now, as they enter their late 30s and 40s and assume management roles, they find themselves hoping for stability and commitment from their Gen Z reports. This dual perspective makes them uniquely positioned to lead the transition. The most forward-thinking companies are no longer fighting this shift, but are actively redesigning their talent strategies around it. Look at the rise of powerful corporate alumni networks. Tech giants like Google and professional services firms like Deloitte have pioneered this model. Deloitte, known as a talent factory, accepts that many employees will only stay for a few years. Instead of treating departure as a failure, they onboard new hires into their alumni program from day one, fostering a colleague-for-life ethos. Their powerful alumni network turns former employees into brand ambassadors, future clients, and a prime source for boomerang hires. This transforms the career path from a corporate home to a career tour bus, where the company offers a valuable career-accelerating stop on a longer journey. 6. Forging a new contract solutions for a mutually beneficial future. So how do we move forward? The solution isn't to try and resurrect the old model of loyalty. It's to build a new, more honest, and more equitable social contract at work. This requires a strategic pivot from all parties. For companies, the goal must shift from retention to relationship management. Instead of trying to lock an employee in for 10 years, focus on making their 2 or 3 years with you the most valuable and impactful of their career. Invest in their development, give them meaningful projects, and create a culture of respect and transparency. When they do leave, handle it with grace. Build a robust alumni network that turns former employees into lifelong ambassadors, potential clients, and future boomerang hires. This transforms a departure from a net loss into a long-term strategic asset. The ultimate paradigm shift is this: if you want loyalty from your employees, you must first demonstrate loyalty to them, loyalty to their growth, their well-being, and their career, even if its future lies beyond your walls. For managers, especially millennials leading Gen Z teams, the key is to manage expectations and embrace the role of a coach. Accept the reality that your best talent may not stay forever. Your job is not to chain them to their desk, but to accelerate their development while they are with you. Focus on providing mentorship, clear feedback, and opportunities to build their career capital. By becoming a launch pad for their careers, you will become a magnet for top talent. For individual Gen Z and millennial employees, the new loyalty demands a new kind of professionalism. Loyalty doesn't have to mean staying for a decade, but it does mean delivering your absolute best work, acting with integrity, and being fully committed for the duration of your tenure. Build your career strategically, but don't burn bridges. A positive departure where you leave your projects in good shape and maintain strong relationships is an investment in your own future network and reputation. Ultimately, loyalty hasn't died. It has been redefined. It's moving from a top-down mandate to a peer-to-peer partnership based on a transparent alignment of values and mutual benefit. This is the future of work. Conclusion. So there you have it. Workplace loyalty hasn't vanished. It's been reborn, taking on a new shape that's better suited for our fast-changing era. We are moving away from blind allegiance and toward a relationship built on transparency, shared values, and mutual benefit. This isn't just a challenge, it's an opportunity. An opportunity for companies to build more agile, engaging, and human-centric cultures where commitment is measured by the quality of one's contribution, not the duration of their stay. And it's an opportunity for individuals to architect careers that are not just successful, but also deeply meaningful. By redefining loyalty together, we can forge a future of work that is more equitable, more dynamic, and more sustainable for everyone. Do you think the traditional idea of company loyalty is obsolete? Are you someone who plans to stay and grow in one place, or do you prefer to gain experience from many? Share your own story, whether you're a job hopper or a long hauler, in the comments. There's no right or wrong, only what's right for you. And be sure to subscribe to GenShift, where we'll continue to dissect the profound changes in our modern work culture, equipping you with the insights to thrive through every career shift.